This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 909. The Difference Between Inspiration and Motivation by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil. Welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I act as your narrator of the best health and fitness blogs covering fitness, nutrition, stress management, weight management, and lots more. And on Fridays, I answer your questions right here on the show. Now, yesterday I had a super long intro. I talked all about Kumail Nanjiani's body transformation, so I'm going to keep this intro really short for you. Let's get right to the heart of today's episode and start optimizing your life. The Difference Between Inspiration and Motivation by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. I get a lot of questions on where I get my inspiration and motivation to run Nerd Fitness, not to mention my own personal health and well-being. I also want to talk about the differences between motivation and inspiration, and how I use both to level up my life. I'm not inspired by actors who have personal chefs, personal trainers, nutritionists, and the time to devote 24 hours a day to getting healthy. Sure, it's fun to get motivated by them, but I know any comparisons are, at the end of the day, unrealistic. I am inspired by normal people like Joe, who dropped 130 pounds in 10 months while working a desk job and traveling 2 weeks a month. I'm not inspired by the guys in the gym who spend all of their time doing 6 different bicep curls and 4 different ab exercises to make sure their perfect muscles are sculpted more perfectly. I am inspired by the 65-year-old guy I saw last week deadlifting 400 pounds. If I can deadlift half of that at his age, I know I'm doing something right. I'm not inspired by the guy who loads up 315 pounds in the Smith machine and does 10 power curtsies, which are squats that aren't really squats. They just drop down a few inches. I am inspired by the older lady whose kids are in daycare and who is squatting 75 pounds and is squatting the right way, deep. I'm not inspired by the people who have it all figured out. I am inspired by the people who are working hard every day trying to figure it out. I am inspired by the people who say, I failed before, which means this time things will be different. I am inspired by people who took a crappy situation, accepted personal responsibility, and changed their fate, or channeled Iron Man to make the most of it. I am inspired by people who refuse to fall victim to good enough syndrome. They instead compare themselves to who they were yesterday. I am inspired by the Nerd Fitness community. I try to be better for them to inspire them right back. If you don't have it all figured out, don't worry. Nobody does. If you are struggling to see progress, don't forget to give yourself a quiet fist pump for getting skin in the game in the first place and figuring it out. I had no clue what I was doing 10 years ago, and to this day, I'm still learning. But every day is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and adapt. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Waiting for the perfect opportunity or the perfect plan will result in nothing ever happening. Educate yourself a bit, but put one foot in front of the other and figure things out as you go. That's how the rest of us did it, but you need to start in order for that to happen. Try and don't be afraid to fail, but make sure you fail differently. The truth about achievement. Don't get me wrong, I love a montage just as much as anybody, whether it's Rocky IV or South Park. However, I get my inspiration elsewhere because montages don't give us a realistic look at life, just the highlights. Montages are 3 to 5 minutes of the best parts of months or years of hard work with all the realism cut out. Real achievement is full of blood, sweat, tears, boogers, illnesses, and competing commitments. It's full of moments of confusion and self-doubt. You don't see the vomit after the cameras stop rolling, the sacrifices made to get from the before to the after, the nights lying awake wondering, why the fill in the blank am I doing this? I love the montage, but I get inspired by the months of work between takes. Real achievement is messy, it's ugly, it's boring, and it's awesome. Don't compare your daily struggles against somebody else's highlight reel. Montages take time. You just listened to the post titled, The Difference Between Inspiration and Motivation by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. And thank you to Scanwell. Did you know that urinary tract infections affect around 50% of all women? Despite this high number, less than half of U.S. adults report being able to schedule a same-day appointment with their primary care provider. Scanwell's UTI test kit and app make screening and accessing treatment more convenient and affordable. Why use Scanwell? Its test kit helps to reduce the time and expense of in-person doctor visits. You can receive test results within minutes and won't have to face a long waiting time to connect to treatment. All you need is a smartphone to connect with their app that's available for both Apple operating systems and Android devices. Scanwell is FDA cleared with clinical grade accuracy for over-the-counter use. No insurance is needed, and the test doesn't expire for 2 years. This means that you can store it in your medicine cabinet and have the kit within your reach when you need to use it. OHD listeners can try Scanwell for free. Just pay shipping. Visit scanwellhealth.com/OHD. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. This kind of goes with the territory. People assume that I know everything there is to know about health and wellness. I know everything about nutrition. I know everything about fitness. I know exactly what's going to work for them, which diet is going to get them to lose weight, which exercise program is going to get them cut and ripped just like they want. But it turns out I don't. And so I loved when Steve mentioned that to this day, he is still learning. I feel the same way. There was a moment, probably right when I graduated with my doctorate degree, that I thought I knew everything. I thought I didn't have to learn a single thing. I am caught up. I am good to go. But we know that's not realistic. Health, wellness, fitness, it changes so fast. And so to quote Steve again, every day is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and adapt. And that's so true. I have been wrong many times before, and I've had to adjust and adapt my own thinking to what the data show. To me, I think one of the hallmarks of being intelligent is to remain objective. Can we remove our own personal feelings out of the equation and just look at what, for example, what the data say, and then make a decision based on that? If what you're doing right now isn't working or what you did last year didn't work, try something new. Learn, adjust, and adapt. And honestly, I've had to do that many times, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's perfectly okay. All right, that'll do it from me for today. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Tomorrow's Friday, so stay tuned for the Friday Q&A. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.